Man United bounced back from that horrible defeat away at Newcastle with a 1-0 win over Brentford in midweek. And now we face Everton. If United can get 2 wins, 6 points, bury that defeat against Newcastle, we can kick on for the rest of this season. Now, the 1-0 win against Brentford, we had 18 shots, only 3 on target. I'd say we had a lot of control and there was patience in that game, but we needed better finishing. Will we see Martial start this game on Saturday? I hope so. Will we see Christian Eriksen return to the squad? I seriously hope so. In this video, I'm going to run through my starting 11, the prediction for the game, all the team news. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. I've got that sweet holiday glow out in Marrakesh. But big up to that response against Brentford. We needed it. You might say that it wasn't the most spectacular performances, that United needed to be more clinical in front of goal, and you'd be right in that. But after what we saw against Newcastle, to have that sort of measure, I was so surprised that Brentford sat off and didn't press us. I'd be very, very surprised if Everton did the same. So I'm kind of expecting a slightly different game and a slightly different performance. Look, Sean Dyche, you know exactly what he's going to be doing with this Everton team, right? If you have a look at their form right now, the last 4 games under Sean Dyche, so what they've got 3 draws against Nottingham Forest. They beat Brentford 1-0 and they drew against Spurs and Chelsea. That game most recently with Michael Keane coming with the last minute equaliser. Will that mean they're going to have momentum and form? I kind of say they would have a little bit of momentum, but still, Everton are in a relegation battle. Man United should be putting them to the sword. Rarely is it as simple as that in Premier League football these days. But this was the starting 11 that faced Brentford in midweek. Do you think there's going to be many changes? I think there might be a couple. And I really hope we see Eriksen return to the matchday squad. But if we go and we talk about the defence first, Luke Shaw, right? He went off with a hamstring injury against Brentford. I don't think Erik ten Hag is going to risk him. I think it would be a risk to put Shaw into this team. Yes, they said we're hearing that it was a precaution, right? And Erik ten Hag might be confirming this in his pre-match press conference. I personally would leave him on the bench for this game and just not take the risk with Luke Shaw. I thought Malacia, when he came on, played great. I think Malacia has been an excellent understudy to Luke Shaw. You know, when he came in for those 4 games after the Brentford game, Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester and Southampton, we need more Malacia type signings. 15 million, maybe they're not going to be first team ready, but they follow the profile, they fit the squad, they do what the manager wants him to do. I think Malacia is an excellent understudy to Luke Shaw, and I think he starts against Everton. I don't think that Shaw will be risked. Now, I've got to quickly talk about this man, right? You know how much my man crush goes on this, but let me zoom in on his face. Come on there. There we go. The thing I love about watching Martinez play from a progression perspective, you know those balls that he does, those cutting vertical passes that go straight through the midfield and they break the lines. And as soon as Martinez does one of those with such confidence and pace, it opens up the game. And it makes such a big difference. And without Eriksen and Casemiro, we've needed that so bad. Of course, he starts. And Erik ten Hag has said that he feels that Wan-Bissaka and Dalot are kind of going toe-to-toe with each other. They're pretty much on par. I don't know whether he's going to change it, and I'll be completely honest, I don't particularly think it's going to matter that much against Everton. You might disagree with that. You let me know what you think in the comments below. But I actually think the only change he's going to make in defence is Malacia coming in for Luke Shaw from a precautionary perspective. However, if you look into midfield, I think there could be some changes. And I hope this is one of them. I don't think it will be. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't think that Eriksen will come straight into the starting 11. But look at this. Look at Casemiro lurking. You can hardly see him there. There he is lurking in the background. Casemiro, I can't wait to see him back with Eriksen. We need them back badly. Now, I think we'll hopefully see Eriksen back in the matchday squad. I don't know whether he's going to play maybe 5-10 minutes at the end. Earlier. I suppose it depends on what the situation is in the game. But in an ideal situation, Ten Hag will be like, right, okay, get the game done, boys, and we can bring Eriksen on for the last 10 to 15 minutes. I think that's what he will want to do against Everton. Whether or not United can achieve that by controlling the game, well, that remains to be seen. Now, I think we can all agree that Sabitzer probably had one of his best performances in a United shirt against Brentford midweek. He played a little bit more advanced. He was just a very good midfielder. Probably the best of the 3. I thought McTominay actually played quite well. I think against Brentford, that's pretty much as good as you're going to get from McTominay in that sort of defensive discipline role that's sort of screening the defence. But as I said, because Brentford didn't really press us that much, everybody had a lot of time on the ball. Sabitzer, McTominay, De Gea, our centre-backs. I was so surprised that they did that because it allowed us to sort of take it a bit easy. I actually think, though, that instead of McTominay, we're probably going to see this man. Zoom in a bit. Fred. I think we're going to see Fred come in for McTominay in this game. That's just what my spidey senses are saying. Right? Let me bring that over there. There you go, Fred. And I think we'll probably see that as a midfield three. I think we'll see Fred. Let me zoom in a bit. There we go. I think we'll see Fred, Sabitzer, and Bruno together in midfield. Now, it could well still be McTominay, but I think across the course of the season, we've seen that Erik ten Hag really does trust Fred. I don't know whether he trusts McTominay to the same degree. I don't think he does. I would go for that as a midfield three. And remember that Doucouré is banned for this game because he got a red card against Spurs. He's serving a 3-match ban. This is the last game of Casemiro's 4-match ban. I swear to God, Casemiro, please don't get another red card this season. Please. What's that, 7 games? 8 games? No, 8 games I think he's missed through suspension. The yellow card that ruled him out of Arsenal, the red card, first red card, and then 8 games. Stop it, Casemiro. Please. We need him back in his team badly. Maybe in the next game, we're going to have Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno lining up as our midfield 3, and we need that. Something I quickly want to say about these two lads, because I've seen quite a lot of people constantly speaking about them. Why aren't they playing? Why aren't they starting? Surely they're better than McTominay. Erik ten Hag, I just trust him. You might say that's naive, but I trust his instincts. Now, what we've seen under previous managers, Solskjaer, he sort of died on the old McTominay and Fred Hill. Mourinho did it previously too with certain players as well, just would play regardless of their form. I think we're looking at Iqbal getting loaned out next season, and I think Kobbie Mainoo is going to be the player that breaks through. You know how this is Garnacho's season? I think next season we're going to see the equivalent for Kobbie Mainoo. That's what I've always felt. I think he's a little bit further ahead than I thought he would be at this point. But I'm not too upset, I'll be honest, about their lack of game time so far. Maybe Kobbie Mainoo if I was going to choose one, but I don't particularly think you should throw youngsters in just because the senior players are playing shit. Is that the best environment for a youngster to thrive, or is that a pressure boiler situation that could probably, certainly, go the other way? That's why I sort of stand by Ten Hag's decisions so far. Moving on up front, though, we need to see this man start, ideally. Now, of course, this just purely depends on match fitness. Is he fit to play? We don't know. We've got 2 Maguires there and no Martial, so let's quickly change that. Martial. Thank you. I think we see this. I think we see Sancho drop to the bench. I think we see Rashford go out left. And I think we see Martial come up front. And that is what I would like to see. As I said, it all depends on match fitness, right? Martial, we know, Ten Hag said it this week as well. He's been saying it all season. He's not game ready. I don't know whether he'll ever have the fitness to properly play 90-minute games 2, maybe 3 times a week. Ever. It's not from what we've seen anyway. But Martial, for me, starting this game, playing 65 minutes. And I thought Jadon Sancho, I quite enjoyed him against Brentford. I just enjoyed watching that front 3. Now, were we lacking a clinical finisher? Yes, we were. 18 shots, I think, 3 on target. It's nowhere near good enough. Chance creation was there. Anthony was offering a lot of threat on that right-hand side, somebody who gets criticised heavily by so many fans. Yes, he needs to improve his output, but there's no doubt that Manchester United as a balanced attacking force are better with Anthony in than without Anthony in that starting 11. Now, that's my opinion there. You might disagree. But I think that Martial starts. I think Weghorst stays on the bench. And I think Rashford shifts out to the left, which is his best position. And then we're looking at a front 3 then, an exciting front 3 of Anthony on the right with Martial through the middle and Rashford on the left. The change in defence, I'm going for Malacia and I'm bringing Fred in. So that's 3 changes to the 11 that played against Brentford. And my prediction for this game, we've got to be beating Everton. I know that they've, as I said, if you're looking at their form, it's far better than it was before Dutch came in. 3 draws and a win. And that last-minute equaliser, they'll carry some momentum there. But I don't think they've won in their last, 10 away games. They've conceded 2 or more in their last 5. I'm going for 2-0. That's what I want to see from Manchester United. I want us to see that. I want us to get that second goal, kill it, because that's what we didn't have against Brentford. And it made it nervy towards the end, especially because we backed off for about 15, 20 minutes in the second half. Everton won't give us an easy game like Brentford did. I was so surprised that Brentford did that. I don't think Everton will. So there won't be as much time and space on the ball for the midfield there of Fred and Savitzer. They're going to have to move it quick. Martinez is going to have to play well. I think Varane starts alongside him. You let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Martial starting up front, please. Can we see this man at some point? I don't know whether we will. Don't know whether this game's going to come too early. But you let me know. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Lost my train of thought there.